I just picked up some new equipment and I want to go out and try it out. I just nabbed this Fujifilm X-S10. And a new GoPro camera. My thought was, since this is a holiday weekend, I'd get on the bicycle, I'd ride around town, and of course there'd be throngs of people everywhere, and I could do some street photography and some impromptu portrait photography. But of course, being the last day of the holiday, and the weather that we have today being very blustery and gray, nobody's out. But I was pretty excited to grab this Fujifilm X-S10. As you know, I really love Fujifilm cameras, both the look that they have and the ergonomics that they have. And I've looked at the X-S10 for a long time. It has all the features that I'm looking for in a digital camera. It's small footprint, lightweight, has the articulating screen. It has great ergonomics and hand feel. But what it doesn't have, and the reason I've really hesitated picking this camera up, is it doesn't have the retro styling of Fujifilm cameras. And this is more like a typical digital camera. I don't look at it as retro styling, I look at it as how a camera works and operates. I'm used to having a shutter speed dial. I'm used to having a dial to set the ISO of the film. I'm used to having the ability to set the aperture on the lens and see what that aperture is. None of these things are really present on this Fujifilm camera, but it does tick a bunch of the other boxes that I'm looking for. It has the articulating screen. It's got much better autofocus than my Fujifilm X-E3 had, and again, it's that small form factor that most Fujifilm cameras have. I like things that are a little smaller, a little more svelte, and especially with our upcoming life on the road, I need to have my equipment be as small and as light and as packable as possible. Let me show you what I mean about some of these features on this Fujifilm X-S10. So this X-S10 does tick most of the boxes I was looking for in a replacement camera of that X-E3 that I had. Primarily is the articulating screen, and that is going to be just stupendous for when I'm doing macro shots or different things, and I can be down low and be able to use that to photograph, so I don't have to lay on the ground, which at over 60 years old is a really plus benefit for me. The other nice thing that this articulating screen does, the way it pivots all the way around, is I can close it on the camera and end up with a finished back. Not only is this a lot more of a retro look, more like a traditional 35mm camera, but it also helps protect that screen. So again, we can articulate this up. The other nice thing it does is it is a great selfie screen. In fact, let's set that up that way. And it does have this nice selfie screen that we can use to do vlogging style like this with the Fujifilm camera. And I've really been looking for something like that, where I can have that screen off to the side right here and be able to use the Fujifilm for vlogging. Speaking of setting this thing into movie mode, so it does have, instead of the retro dials that I so love on the Fujifilm camera, where you can actually set a shutter speed and an ISO right with the dials, just like a camera that I am used to using for most of my life that I've done photography work. But this dedicated dial, I think I'm going to learn to like it. I can turn it to the movie setting, and instantly all of my presets that I've set up for video are there and locked in. Then there's 4 custom settings that are locked in that you can set and have be semi-permanent. You can change them at any time, but you can always go back to them. So I've done that. I've set up a C1, a C2, a C3, and a C4. And those are set up in film or replicas recipes for a stylized look in a JPEG image that this camera will produce. And that is one thing these cameras will do. They'll do a JPEG and a RAW file right at the same time. So you can use that JPEG file, and if it works, but you also have the backup of the RAW file, which then you can do anything with at a later date. So that was my hope today as I took the Fujifilm out and about in town today, was to find some people and try out some of these film simulations and show them to you. Very few people out and about, but one fortuitous thing that's happened is right over there, right across from the hardware store, is Spoon Man, or Spoons as we call him. And he's set up, he's got a little keyboard and he's got his spoons, and he's doing some busking right here on the street. Let's go check it out. Absolutely. Excellent.
Yeah, I had to give up my accordion playing because that thing was so heavy.
That was hard to carry around?
Yeah, that's by myself. The lady got him from me. I told her I wanted something. I thought,
It's great. It's great. Because you've been around town forever.
oh yeah.
Doing stuff.
Yeah. Still going at it though.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
You know what they say, don't never give up.
So, do you still do the spoons?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I still do them too.
Okay.
If you're gonna be around Friday, they're gonna have that concert down here Friday, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So stop over there.
Oh, you're going to be over there too?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
All right.
See my setup, how I got it plugged in?
Yeah, you got this, and then you got, yep, little portable battery going with you.
Yep.
Nice, very clever.
Better than them 12-volt batteries you used to have.
Uh-huh. Yeah, these new batteries are great.
Yeah, them kind. That's all I want to color. I bought that about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
at Harbor Freight. But this other piece here, like this part here, I gotta go to another store. I gotta see about getting another extra. But all I gotta do is buy your truck and put it down. They won't take it. There is a lot of fees in this town though. You know this? If I had somebody could write that down on that music there, see, I can't read. I can read numbers, but not the letters.
Okay.
So that way I'll know which one to push, and I can play the spoons with it that way too.
All right. Well, thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
You have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks. Enjoy your holiday.
Thanks. images. Nostalgia. Maybe nice. Something I did want to point out is that if we put this into like an automatic mode or a shutter priority mode, you see it storing and taking forever to store, and that's not normal. That's because of all the extra processing that's happening with these images. You can see if I have it on, right now I've got an automatic, and it stores the image almost instantly. But if I go to one of my custom settings, let's go to C2 on this one, and do it, it takes it that second to write that image. It's actually doing some post-processing to that JPEG to store that. That's who the drawbridge went out for. The bell is this one here, not this one. This is the old ancient one.